Well, hello there, everyone. This is Keith from Keith's Comics, coming to you from our beautiful Keith's Comics warehouse and studio with another live show here on the Keith's Comics Network. You can watch our show on any of our Facebook pages, but if you want to claim something in tonight's show, we need you to be over on the Keith's Comics Network. We have gigantic announcements tonight. Maybe you saw our Facebook or got our email later today. And hopefully you'll dip in here, dip your toe in to find out what those announcements are. They are gigantic. Do we have audio over there? All right, we got thumbs up from Kaylin. We are good to go on there. Alan says, hiya from Tennessee. All right. You're doing a lot of traveling. That's nice. Do you travel for work or are you just living your best life, Alan? That's awesome. You're somewhere different every week. That's fantastic. All right. We have a really cool show. We have some slab books we got back from CBCS this week. Chris has found a lot of really cool stuff in the warehouse, including some oddball items that I had forgotten that we even bought a long time ago. We have our usual lightning rounds and a swag section and the gigantic announcements. If you're new to our show, drop into the comments section and say hello so that we know that you're out there. And if you've been here a million times, drop into the comments and say hello so that we know that you're out there. We are going to get this show started because most people watch this at their leisure later on, and that's fine. If you're watching in the future, hello, future. We really appreciate that. I should put that future on this one. There we go. All right, so without further ado, let's get on with today's show. Cindy, find the fake Kelsey Grammer and get this show started.
Let's kick this pig.
All right.
Keith's Comics.
All right, there we go. We got audio there, and then we're going to switch over here. All right. Oh, and look, I'm right in the beginning. Hello, everyone. I'm Keith from Keith's Comics. Hopefully, you're here to claim some stuff. Full transparency, we're here to try to sell you some stuff and talk some comics. All right, let's see. Oh, Rich is here. He's claiming already. He doesn't even know what we have. No, you did not miss the announcement. It's coming up, but we're going to drag that along just like any good marketing team would do. We're going to do that. So I forgot to tell you about this. Where do we go? Hello, future. All of you watching in the future, we really appreciate that. And you can claim everything that we have here. The prices are good for 35 hours. You can claim it anytime, as long as it's still available. Go watch our old shows. Maybe we still have some of that left over. And if you're watching in the future, hello, future. Yeah. Another great animation effect by Kaylin. All right. We have several new animation effects for tonight. All right. All right, so let's get started, Chris. Chris is going to be showing us the books tonight. We have 40 some odd books and then 20 some odd lightning rounds. So what do we got first there, Chris?
We're going to start Thursday off right.
Oh, it's Thursday. Thursday. We're starting it off right, he says. This is a Journey into Mystery, number 124. If I'm not mistaken, this is the final Journey into Mystery, and the title switches over to Thor with the next issue. This book looks spectacular and really nice. A little bit brown in the white sections there, but it was a subscription book. It has a nice subscription crease right through the top middle. There we go, Carol. There we go. From 1960, though. 1960? No, this is not 1960. Probably 64 or 65. I don't know why. I wrote the wrong date on that. Please ignore that date. That is not correct. Issue number 124 of Journey into Mystery. It would be $20 in store. 17. No, there's no animated pig kicking. That's not going to happen. Although, all right, $17 if you claim it here. And make sure you're in the comment section of the Keith's Comics Network. You're going to type claim Journey into Mystery 124, and then we'll sort it out from there. Next up.
More Thor.
One more Thor. It's like it's Thursday, right? Thursday.
Falls a hero.
Oh my gosh, the beautiful colors on this. This is a fine plus copy of this, issue 149. Great Kirby cover here. Thor versus the Wrecker. This is way before the Wrecking Crew, right?
Yeah.
He was just an independent. At this point,
He's an independent record.
he was an independent wrecker. He still got his power from Thor's hammer, if I'm not mistaken. Was
Loki gave him the charge with the crowbar.
I knew it was.
He was going to use it himself, but then the wrecker took it.
The wrecker. Well, you'd think the Loki'd be smart enough to get it back from him. A fine plus copy of this from 1968, issue 149, is $30 in store. If you claim it here, though, only $25. This is no anime. All right, Rich. Next up.
One more Thor.
Why? We're just going to Thor out. It's Thor's Day. Is it her first appearance or no? Okay. That is a VG Plus. Again, it's going to be a subscription copy on that, I believe. But look at how pretty that book is. Oh, whoever made that decision to fold those books in half and mail them out, I would get my time machine and beat you up. Thor number 172 from 1970 is $25 in store, $18 if you claim it here. Next up.
No more Thor. We got a Teen Titans.
All right, the team book, yes. This is the first appearance of the Batman Who Laughs. Why it's randomly in a Teen Titans issue. We were all very surprised whenever this came out in 2017. Part of the Dark Metal storyline, Dark Metal tie-in. The Batman Who Laughs first appearance. This is not a minty copy, but a very nice, fine plus copy. That makes it affordable, right? $30 in store, $24 if you claim it here. If the Joker ever got hold of the Wrecker's crowbar, I don't know. Does the Red Hood even remember what his worst nightmare is? But I take your point. That would be... I guess if the Joker had the Wrecker's crowbar, whenever he hit somebody, he'd kill all Robins at the same time. Next up,
Avengers.
Oh, the Avengers. This is a nice Silver Age Avengers. A really sharp, fine minus copy. Look at the colors on that. Back at last, Giant Man. In this issue, Giant Man makes his way back onto the team. He had been missing for a little bit as Ant-Man / Hank Pym / he hadn't been Yellow Jacket yet. What's interesting about this issue is he changes his name to Goliath because of the story angle here is that after the adventure they just went on, he was Giant Man, but something he tried to shrink too fast and he got stuck at 10 feet tall. And so he took a new name, Goliath. Why? I don't know. I guess, Stan had, he wanted to get the trademark on Goliath also. I don't know. And really nice fine minus copy from 1966, $30 in store, $24. So if you ever wondered, well, why did he change his name from Giant Man to Goliath? Well, because he couldn't shrink up and down for a while. He was stuck at 10 feet tall. $24. Claim Avengers 28. Next up.
And David Harbour's first appearance in Avengers.
Oh, David Harbour's first appearance. It's all right, nice. / Hellboy / Stranger Things. Avengers, The Red Guardian. Push that down just a little bit. It kind of came in just a bit. First appearance of Red Guardian. We have a Hercules appearance in there in which he's wearing the wrong leggings, unfortunately. But the first appearance of the Red Guardian from 1967, there in Avengers number 43. It has a subscription crease. It's still a very sharp VG Plus copy. $50 in store. Oh, yeah. All right. He's very busy. He has a lot on his plate. $38 if you claim it here. Avengers number 43. $38. Next up.
Lois Lane, 2-part miniseries.
And from 1986, Mindy Newell and Gray Morrow teamed up to bring you this 2-part Lois Lane. I guess it's Lois Lane as a crime noir.
Yeah.
Is that right? Just 2 issues of Lois Lane. It was a 2-part story. This is both issues here. Beautiful. If they were read, they were read very gently. The VF minus from 1986, $12 in store, $9 if you claim it here. Lois Lane, book 1. Next up,
her boyfriend.
All right, some Superman. Number 207. Chris said this is one of his favorite covers because everybody's saying happy birthday on one side and then unhappy birthday on the other side. I especially like Brainiac's thumbs down. He's very serious about that thumbs down, isn't he? Issue 207 is also an 80-page giant from 1968. It's $15 in store or $9. It's a solid, pretty copy with good colors on it. $9 if you claim Superman 207 in there. Hi, Larry. All right. Here from West Texas. All right. Next up. More Superman with one of my top 10 Superman covers of all time. I mean, Silver Age and forward. There's a ton of Golden Age covers I love. This is issue 265 of just this amazing Nick Cardy cover. I can remember sitting in my room when I was probably 13 or 14 and just staring at this cover. The way he did the water effects on the tarmac there, just fantastic. Issue 265 of Superman from 1973, only $6 for this nice mid-grade copy. Wow, what a fantastic find, $6. Next up, more Superman.
Oh, yeah.
We're just going to knock out characters left and right here, aren't we? Yep. From 1988, this is a prestige format book. John Byrne, Kurt Swan, Jerry Ordway, and Bill Ray. All of the big hitters. That's a bunch of Superman artists there. From 1988, this is $12 or $10 if you claim it here. One shot special prestige format, $10. I forgot to ask you, Rich, what you were drinking tonight. And Cindy, Rich says hello.
Hey, Rich.
All right, amaretto sours tonight. Ooh. I'm not even sure what that is. Is that is that whiskey or is that gin? I don't know.
Liqueur.
It's a liqueur.
Amaretto is a liqueur.
I don't even know what that means. So there you go. I'm not much of a drinker. I mean, past Diet Coke. Speaking of Diet Coke, the ceremonial Diet Coke is right here next to me. Next up.
Next up, we got Superman Spectacular.
Wow, more Supermans. This is a really, really cool book. This is Superman Spectacular. I had never seen this book before. It was originally published for the German market. Then they went ahead and published an American edition here. It's the first Superman Red, Superman Blue in continuity. A really nice special book that you probably have never seen before because I hadn't seen it. It's oversized, magazine size here from 1981. It's a nice solid mid-grade copy, $15 in store, or if you claim it here, it's $15 also because I can't discount this book. This book is pretty cool. Who's that? Terra Man? He's fighting in the background there. That's a really cool version of Terra Man too. I love it. I don't even know. Does Terra Man's horse have a name? I don't know. All right, so it's a whiskey liqueur with lemon juice and a tad of sugar. Nice. All right. Well, all right. You call Jesus tomorrow and make sure he knows you're coming to Mockingbird tomorrow. They're already gone for the day. All right, next up.
Swag time.
Swag time. Let's see here. I got to get over to the swag time. Where is swag? There it is right there. Swag time. All right, swag time is the stuff that we get in collections that I just don't have any place for in the stores, or it's had a place and it just didn't find a home. But a lot of stuff is just wacky. Like up this first item here. This is an Overstreet price guide for issue 29, I believe. So what would that be? Like 1920? So 30 from 1970. So this would be 2000. Is that right? Right around in there, 1999, 2000. This is $3 if you need one of these for your collection, or if you promise to give this away to a new burgeoning collector or someone the articles are great in this. Don't use it to price historical
document.
Very, very good for historical documents. Great articles, great pictures. If you promise to give this away to somebody, I will give it to you for free. Just to say free, I will give it to somebody in the comments, and it will work its way onto you. Joe, you did not miss the announcements. They're coming up right after swag time. Oh, did I let the cat out of the bag? All right. Hey, welcome to the show, Joe. I appreciate it. Next up,
this big old hardcover of Soups himself.
This is a crazy cool book. I think it still has a sticker on it from B. Dalton or something like that. Doubleday. All right. From 1971, this is a book I read 1 million times when I was growing up. It has mostly black and white reprints, but a few color pieces in there. Oh my gosh, some of the greatest stories up to 1971 when this was published. This needs to go to somebody else who is a Superman fan or knows a burgeoning Superman fan. This is, I believe, a first printing, but you can see the dust jacket is tore up just a little bit at the top there. Only $10. $10 for Superman from the 30s to the 70s. Next up, man, we are a little Superman heavy tonight, aren't we?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, Superman Power Records. This is $6 for the Weatherspoons Catalyst. If you are young, you probably don't know about there were comics on records. You probably don't know what a record is either. All right. Well, there we go. On vinyl, this is a little 45. You put it on there, and it had two sides, and some of them had a book that you read along with it, and, I can still in my memory hear the ding, turn the page, over and over again. But this was a straight-up drama. Superman Power Records, only $6. A very nice copy of this. If it was played very carefully. It looks very nice on the inside. No, half the Angelettas, you have not missed the announcement, but it is moments away. Next up,
you need your officer's manual for traveling through Starfleet.
That's right. If you want to join Starfleet, you can get the jump on it by getting this 1980s book, the USS Enterprise Officer's Manual from 1980, Constitution class, NCC 1701. Everything you need to know. This is, I guess, this is Wesley Crusher's copy that he stole, and then he used it to get on board. But $20 in store, $12 if you claim it here. Where's my Star Trek fans on that? Somebody wanting to join. Next up,
and last of our swag.
Last of the swag is X-Files calendar from 2001 for only $2.99. I know that we have X-Files fans out there who can't live without that. Is that right? I think so. I think that's right.
Yeah, let's hope so.
All right. Now then, part of the reason you're here, I think. Well, hello there, everyone. I'm Keith from Keith's Comics, and we have a big announcement to make. Since 1989, Keith's Comics has been selling comics here in the Dallas area, pop culture stuff, science fiction stuff, back issues, all kinds of crazy fun stuff. Some collectible card games, some old toys, just whatever we thought our customers might like. So we thought you might like to know some more news, and our big announcement is that the Mockingbird store has a long-term lease. We're not going anywhere, but just like a good comic, we're going to leave you on a cliffhanger because we have more news, and that's gigantic also. All right, we're back. And there we go, the first part of our announcement. Oh, you didn't think I was going to give it all to you up front, did you? There we go. The first part of the announcement, gigantic announcement, is the Mockingbird store has a long-term lease. So we're going to be there for a good long time. I appreciate everybody so concerned about what our big announcement was. But there's more. There's more announcement coming fairly soon. Within the next few minutes, as a matter of fact. All right, what do we got, Chris? Because we're going to go back to the show. Oh, look at these. From when was this? The early 90s?
Something like that.
This is you buy these in, I don't know, M.E. Moses or some kind of drugstore or something like that.
Grocery stores?
Yeah, grocery stores. This is Batman 453, 443, and 472 has been sealed hermetically in these packages for 30 years. Mm-hmm. All right. So I'm not going to call them minty mint, but man, untouched by human hands. It's
8 free trading cards inside.
Oh, I didn't even see that before. 8 free trading cards. All right. Well, there you go. $20 in store or $12. Oh, I wonder what the trading cards are. Oh my gosh, I'd never even noticed that before. All right, $12 if you claim it here. Next up,
another bag.
Oh, look at that. Oh, from 1991. Captain Planet #1, and then the other side of that is Double Dragon #1. That's a video game, right?
Yep, and the third comic is
Heathcliff.
32.
Yeah, the middle comic that took me a long time to sort out what it was. I had to go look at the years of comics that came out at 1991, and then kind of match the colors without opening this. So they threw in a Heathcliff 32. I don't know. Where's my Heathcliff hands? From 1991, but you do get a really spanking copy of Captain Planet and Double Dragon. $25 in store, $15 if you claim it here. There you go. Next up.
And our last bag of the week.
Oh, this one looks like it got a little hot. The shrink wrap shrunk a lot. Also from 1991, the NFL Super Pro #1 featuring Spider-Man, and then a copy of X-Men #1 featuring the Beast Storm cover. Nice. And then interior, does it say what the other books? Oh, it has
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure or Captain Planet.
No, it has a Captain Planet and a Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure.
All of them. Cool.
Yes, there's 4 books inside of this. That's why it's $40 in store. That's right, or $25 if you claim it here. Some #1s from 1991, $25. Next up.
You're going to like this like gangbusters.
Oh, yeah. Gangbusters #60 from 1957. We talked about this last week in that a lot of comics were based on radio shows, and Gangbusters was another one of those radio shows. This is a very well-read, good minus copy of this, but if you always wanted a early silver, late golden age comic, I don't know, we could arm wrestle whether this was gold or silver. It's a 10-cent DC comic, only $8 for this Gangbusters #60. That big announcement scared you for a minute? Well, what should really scare you is that X-Files calendar that slipped by you there. Gangbusters #60, $8. Next up.
Amazing Adventure.
Oh, this is a real classic book. One of my favorite covers of all time. Amazing Adventures featuring the Beast. Amazing Adventures #15. This is the first time the Beast was in his blue fur. If you follow this story, issue #11 was when he first started experimenting on himself, and he turned into the Beast that we know him as, but he was all gray. And then in this issue, he mutates a little bit further and becomes the ever-loving blue-eyed Beast that we all know and love. This copy looks sharp, but sometimes whenever you shove your comics down in a box and then you put other comics in there, the first one gets rolled up, and that happened to this book for about 25 years. So the bottom of this is really crinkled. We're going to call it a VG Plus and ask $15 for it. It is a key book, only $10 if you want. And also, the Griffin is just a messed up supervillain. There was a guy that they grafted lion hands and mane, and then some kind of ivory thing. What beast has giant wings like that? I'm not really sure, but there we go. The Griffin was okay. Thanks. All right. $10 for this Amazing Adventures #15. Next up. Yes, that was a blue beast.
Strange Adventures.
All right, Strange Adventures. Cool book. #125. Let's see, this is where they got the wings from. This flying gorilla. DC was all about the gorilla covers of this time period, and then we had Air Force jets, and then we're going to have a flying gorilla. This cover basically has it all. From 1961, this issue 125 is $15 in Good Plus, or $10 if you claim it here. The U.S. Air Force, they were Air Force at this time, right? They had already broken away from the Army, right?
Yeah.
All right, so 1961. Next up.
80-page giant Batman.
Oh, yeah, boy, a Joker cover on a Batman book. Yes, please. A Batman #187 from 1966/67. I say that because it's a January issue. So it's January 1967 is the street date, the cover date, but it probably went on sale like in October of '66. So $30 in store for this nice, solid VG Plus copy, or $24 if you claim it here. Look at the go-go checks at the top, and it's an 80-page giant. Next up. Oh, these sensational She-Hulks. If you didn't buy them when they're new, they're getting pricey. This is issue #54, real close to the end of the run from 1993. There's $18 in store, or $12 if you claim it here. So, and this is first Immortal She-Hulk. It's starting to break just a little bit, as we'll see if they do anything with the idea of the Immortal She-Hulk. The Immortal Hulk is already a thing. Next up.
Perfect for Halloween, Twisted Tales.
Twisted Tales. Oh, look at that cover. That's pretty swell. Twisted Tales from PC Comics from 1984. That probably has all kinds of great artists inside of that. I should have peeked inside of that. Oh, is that Melvin from Little Shop of Horrors? I don't know. $10, $10 is what we'll have in the store, or $7 if you keep me from having to have somebody put a sticker on it. $7 in VF, Twisted Tales number 8. Next up.
Classic comic title of all time.
Oh, yes. Report yourself to HR immediately. And when you start talking about the giant-sized man thing. This is also features Gorko the Man Frog, and it's the first Howard the Duck solo story. Super hard to find when I was trying to run this down in the late 70s. Howard the Duck first appearance in Fear number 19, and then I guess he might have appeared a couple other times, but he got his own story here in Giant Size a Man Thing number 4 from 1975. Look at that. That's a pretty swell cover, too. $25 in store, $18 if you claim it here. Next up.
We got a twofer.
A twofer. This is some Angeletta catnip here. Green Lantern number
10, number 11.
Number 10 and 11 featuring Guy Gardner, who's supposed to be a big player in that Green Lantern TV series that they're doing over at
Superman movie.
And the Superman movie. That's right. Was that Nort on the first issue on number 10?
Nort's there.
Oh, I see.
And a nice Joe Stanton cover.
They haven't announced the Nort casting yet. What's going on? All right, so these 2 issues of Green Lantern, $6 in toto. Next up.
They're not just suspense stories. They're strange.
Strange suspense stories. Volume 3, number 5. Look at that great Ditko artwork from 1969. Wow. It's too spooky, too scary. $6 for the strange suspense stories from 1969. Next up. Mark Spector, Moon Knight. All right, just a random issue of Moon Knight that's a really part of that Scarlet Redemption storyline. Issue number 28 is only $6. This is a time to, if you're going into Moon Knight, this is the time to start buying your Moon Knights, because the heat is off of them from that first mini series. But the moment they announce a season 2 or Moon Knight and anything else, it'll be Katie bar the door again. $6 for this Mark Spector Moon Knight number 28. Next up. X Factor. All right. Thank you for covering up Cyclops there. Appreciate that. Because in case you're new to the show, you should know that we are an anti-Cyclops place here. As you can see. Yeah, nice. Well done. Well done. No one even noticed. All right. This is the first brief appearance of Apocalypse. This is number 5, $30 in store, $18. I think that I was going to do something with it. I think that I was going to make a special deal on this book. Here, throw that on there. It's a special deal. Because you hang out and wanted to see the show, if you want the first cameo of Apocalypse, only $6. $6 for X Factor number 5. There you go. See, look at that. Oh, man, I should have looked at the feed first. Dang it. Take that $6 off. All right, next up.
Next up, it's Thor's Day, so let's have some lightning.
Oh, Thor's Day. But before we do that, everybody's been very nice hanging out with us. We'll get to the second part of the announcements. Here we go. Gigantic announcements, and then we'll be done. You can say for lightning round after this, in which we do really cheap books, $1, $2, and $3 books. That's right after this. And then we have a continuation of the show, in which we have 3 slab books coming up. So coming up right after this. But for right now, let's take a look at our gigantic announcement part 2. All right, we're back. As promised, more gigantic announcements. We know that we have the long-term lease at the Mockingbird store, but we also should tell you that the North Dallas store has just inked a brand new lease, so they're going to be there for another good long while. If you're a regular at that store, or maybe you've never gone out there, what was that? What? There's more. Wait, there's still more? Ah, yes, of course there's more. The third part of our gigantic announcement is the ink has just dried for the Firewheel Mall lease extension. So, you're stuck with us. Get used to it and come get some bargains this weekend as we celebrate the long-term lease extensions of the Keys Comics store in Dallas County. Thanks a lot for coming by and seeing us. Go visit the guys in the stores because they get lonely without you. And come celebrate by getting some deals at Keys Comics. Woo! Well, there you go. There's our big announcement in this time of uncertainty. Keys Comics, you're stuck with us. We just signed new leases on all 3 of the stores, long-term leases, and so you don't have to worry about that. You were scared that Esteban was inheriting the kingdom? There we go. Hey, Joe. Yes, thank you, Joe. All right, so let's get back to the show. We're into lightning round. Is that right? Because it's Thor's Day?
Yep.
All right, first of all, let's see. Lightning round. Here we go. All right, $1, $2, and $3 books because we have $1, $2, and $3 bins in the stores. So check those out. What do you got, Chris?
We got all these are $3 books.
They're all $3 books today. This is proudly presents the Swamp Thing, the original, Len Wein and Bernie Wrights. And all right, look at that. Only $3, and this is the very earliest, probably issue 1, 2, and 3 of that. Next up,
Aquaman special.
oh, there's Aquaman, and he is special. The short bust version of Aquaman here, $3 for Spirit and Flesh. Next up,
Flash Annual 2.
Flash Annual 2, in which wow, he's
Got a lot of bricks on it.
that's a brick house right there. $3. Next up,
Got a Green Lantern special.
oh, Green Lantern special. Look at that. Oh, that's going to leave a mark. It's some kind of Titan situation. Was that George Jones, Owlsy? All right, next up.
Secret Origins with the other Green Lantern.
What? It's Green Lantern heavy all of a sudden. The secret origin of the Golden Age Green Lantern and the Bronze Age. Well, I guess it would be Silver Age. Silver Age, the Creeper. All right, next up.
Marvel team up with a nice Paul Smith cover.
Well, Paul Smith cover, Spider-Man and Mr. Fantastic. Almost one of those negative covers. Look at that. Issue 102 of Marvel Team Up. Did I say that right? Or is it 132?
Marvel team up 132.
132. Sorry about that. Issue 132, $3. Next up.
Marvel 2-in-1. What is it? 20 something.
Issue 27. Oh, this was cool issue. The thing in the Submariner going out of here. Let's look at that cover. I loved Marvel 2-in-1 because they had this very loose continuity. So the previous issue, whatever number it was, 25 or 26, had Deathlock in it, and so that story peters out in the first few pages, and then somehow the Submariner gets involved. I don't even know, but we got the reintroduction of the Piranha. Marvel 2-in-1, only $3. Next up, oh, Tarzan the Untamed, Ernie Chan work here. The last part of the Tarzan Untamed. I did not realize that this was one of the very famous Tarzan stories.
Yeah, it was adapted. They did a lot of those adaptations in DC.
Yeah, so a very swell art on the inside of this, and this is the last part, so you can see how it ends. How Tarzan makes his way back to Jane. $3 for this Tarzan. Next up,
The New Adventures of Superboy.
The New Adventures of Superboy with a grand Gil Kane cover on that. Look at that. That's very nice. The New Adventures of Superboy, $3. Next up. Yeah, thank you, Alan. Oh, The Secrets of Haunted House. It's spooky and it's scary, and it also has a new Mr. E story. Oh, nice. $3. Next up.
Another Marvel team up.
More Marvel team up. This time, Spider-Man and Hercules with a really cool. That's Gil Kane also, isn't it? Hercules has the right leggings on, at least there. Nice issue of this. The City Stealers. Oh, $3 for this issue of Marvel team up. That's a cool cover there. Next up. Not Brand X, featuring Four Bush Man. If you've never read any of these, they're just goofy fun from the kind of like Mad Magazine goofy stories. And I always used to, I've told this story before, but I always used to say, oh, they're just mailing in the art until I tried to draw in this goofy style. You got to be a really good artist to draw in this style. This Not Brand X is only $3. Next up.
Action Comics 23.3, the lenticular cover.
23.3, the lenticular cover. Only $3. Look at that. Oh, is that Superman getting struck by some kind of super situation there?
Kryptonite lightning.
Crypto lightning. Does that mean that he has to have a computer doing a math problem or something? I'm not sure. Next up. Promethea, number 27, in which it's an homage or pastiche, if you will, of the classic Superman versus Spider-Man cover from that gigantic Treasury edition in there. That's Promethea versus Tom Strong. If you're not familiar with those characters, check them out sometime. Pretty fun stuff from the Alan Moore universe. $3. Next up.
Buried Treasure.
Buried Treasure. That's old school, people. You need this book. From Greg Theakston and the people at Caliber Comics way back in 86. This has public domain stories by Jack Kirby, Wally Wood, Jack Cole, and Joe Kubert. Very early Joe Kubert stuff. And featuring the story of Captain Science. So if you are a big time fan of those artists, score this one for $3. It's a nice get. Next up.
Run of Adam Strange that we have.
Oh, we got a bunch of Adam Stranges. This is when Adam Strange took over Strange Adventures, and they did reprints of some of the classic Adam Strange stories in there because they're hard to find. So give me the issue number as you put these down there. $219, $3. $220. Oh, what a great classic cover.
It's a Kubert cover, man. It's awesome.
Yes, $3. $225. Look, Enemy Ace, but look at that.
It's so strange. I'm out of order. $222.
$222. Look at that. That's pretty swell. $3. These are all $3 each. This is crazy.
Batman and the Outsiders.
Where did that come from? I was having a good time with Strange Adventures. Batman and the Outsiders, just a random issue, number 1 from a couple years ago. New team, no rules. No, $3. Next up.
We got a beat up cover.
Last Ronin, this book is red hot, but this one was stored poorly. It's frayed on the back. It's got some kind of situation going on in the back cover on that. I mean, it looks great if you're looking at it like this, but it has issues. But so a regular, what was this, $5.99 book or $6.99? $8.99. Only $3 now. You can start putting together your cheapy copy of Last Ronin. Last of the Lightning Round. Oh, how did you even let this slip through your fingers? Marvel preview featuring Black Mark. This is a crazy 100% Gil Kane masterpiece, right? Oh my gosh. It has a lot of text, but also a lot of great art inside. Black Mark, I guess this is their first dabbling with what they eventually went on to go do with Epic, where they someone brought a creation to them and they just published it. And I know it hurts their teeth now to think that they don't own the rights to Black Mark, but there's probably some lawyers still working on that. Marvel preview, only $3 for this. Next up.
Last of the Lightning Round. Back to our regular show.
Oh, hang on. The Lightning Round's done. Where is Pablo at? We got to go wake him up. All right, back to the regular show. What do you got there, Chris?
We got our slab books for the night.
A couple of three slab books coming up. This one is Miles Morales, number 1. This is the 1 in 200 Peach Momoko ratio variant. $140 in store, $115 if you claim it here. 9.8. That's about as minty mint as you get, though, for a 1 in 200 ratio variant. Wow, great deal at $115. Next up. Oh yeah, King Kong. A great. When was this? 1991, I think it was. Yeah, this was the. They did a 2 or 3 part adaptation of the original 1936, 33 King Kong movie. And they put these beautiful Dave Stevens covers on it. In the early 90s, Dave Stevens was at a lot of Dallas shows. And in 1991, whenever this book came out, he had the unfortunate timing of this is the same year that all the Image books dropped. So at the Dallas show, there was Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld and all the other guys there soaking up all the people. And the person who got this signed just basically sat at his table for like 3 days because everybody goes, oh, who's Dave Stevens? Oh my gosh, did they mess up? This is autographed, signed on the bottom left. You can see it by Dave Stevens. A 9.0 King Kong number 1, which is already pretty hard to find, with a beautiful Dave Stevens cover signed, $150 for this great book. I just got this back from CBCS this week. Next up.
And the third and last slam book.
Oh, yes. Well, this is a classic book that I found in the warehouse. Didn't even know I had. I didn't realize what it was. This is Scooby-Doo #1 from 1970. First appearance of Scooby-Doo in comics. It's a pretty low grade at 3.0, but still crazy hard to find in any grade. This is, push it up just a little bit more toward you. Can't see the price. How crazy expensive is it? I would like $600 for this 3.0, please. Or $550 if you claim it here tonight. Should I just put you down for that, Rich? There we go. $550 for this Scooby-Doo #1 from 1970. Oh my gosh! And then for whatever reason, I guess she didn't have a good enough agent. Velma did not appear on the cover of this.
That's just wrong.
All right, next up. Here we go, sprint towards the end. We'd like to remind you that we do have a second show scheduled at 8:15 tonight, in which we will have mostly ratio variants, a few other just cool variants, and it's Art Germ heavy. If you're not familiar with Art Germ's artwork, very, very highly sought after artist. This is Deathstroke #30 from 2018. Golly, this book was so hot. You had to know somebody and use asbestos gloves to touch this book when it first came out. This beautiful VF copy is only $6 now with the passage of time. Next up,
we got Luke Cage, Hero for Hire.
Velma was off panel looking for her glasses. That's probably, and solving the mystery. Luke Cage, Hero for Hire, with Billy Graham cover. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Billy Graham, man, I love that cover. This is man, these early '70s Luke Cage Heroes for Hire are just spectacular. They are everything of that time period. #3 from 1972, a VG Plus, and it's hard to find because of the black around on there. Usually they show every little ding on the spine. Mace, and he has such a rogues gallery too. Mace is his name, murder is his game. $12 in store, $9 if you claim it here. Next up.
We got our second Luke Cage.
All right, yes. Look at that. Wheel of Fortune, Wheel of Doom. Who's that? Is that Stiletto or something like that? Issue #11 of Luke Cage, Hero for Hire. And again, more of these deep blacks on this cover. This is a really sharp VF copy of this. Nice Bronze Age beauty here. $20. That's ridiculously low. And then we're going to knock a little bit off that. $15. Oh my gosh, crazy, crazy low. $15 for Luke Cage, Hero for Hire, #11. Next up.
We got a signed book.
Oh, a signed book, an exclusive retailer preview of The Last Barbarians. Haberlin, is that right? Yeah, Haberlin. From 2023, a nice VF copy of this. They sent these out as a thank you for, or as an enticement to get us to order more of their books. The Last Barbarians signed exclusive retailer preview books, $30 in store, $20 if you claim it here. What is this, number 178 of 200? Is that right? $20. Next up.
Got another set.
Sets. Oh, always faithful, Marvel says. Issues 1 through 9. That's the complete run, right, Chris? Yeah. All 9 issues. Beautiful VF copies of this title. All 9 in one fell swoop. From 1988, $50 for the whole set in store, or $40 if you claim it here. Tales of the Marines, Semper Fi, 1 through 9. Next up.
Got one of my favorite toys as a kid.
Oh, yes, Shogun Warriors. Shogun Warriors is the one with the hand. That was Godzilla. It was part of that line. The hand popped off, and the little flame tongue went. Shogun Warriors #1 from 1979. Nice newsstand copy of this. VF copy from 1979. $25 in store, $20 if you buy it here. Next up.
Got a Captain America.
Oh, yes. This is where he's had enough. And he becomes Nomad, if I'm not mistaken here. Again, was this all Gil Kane show or something? Another Gil Kane cover on this.
It did turn out to be that way, huh?
Issue 180 of Captain America and the Falcon, featuring Captain America throwing off the Captain America suit and becoming Nomad. He was Nomad for a couple of years or something like that?
And then someone else became Nomad.
Then somebody else.
Bucky became.
Yeah, Bucky became Nomad, and then there's somebody running around with a baby for a while.
That was Bucky.
Was that Bucky?
Yeah.
I didn't remember that. Bucky Baby, that's right. Issue 180 from 1970. Whatever happened to that baby?
Written out of continuity.
Written out of continuity, all right. From 1974, $15 for this fine minus copy. Next up. Oh my, a key book here. Wowzers. All right. I see what we did here. The first appearance of Captain Marvel. Wow, this is how it all starts. From the Kree Empire. From 1967, Marvel Superheroes, which had this original Gene Colan story, was probably Roy Thomas wrote this. I'm not remembering who did. And then it has a bunch of Golden Age reprints in the back of this. But this first appearance of Captain Marvel, it's a nice, fine-minded copy. That's very, look at the colors on that. That's very nice. A 5.0, maybe a 5.5. I don't think it quite gets up to fine. Still, $100 or $85 if you claim it here. Look at that. Captain Marvel. Comes Captain Marvel later, and then Captain Marvel with Carol Danvers takes over the name, and then Maria Rambeau, and then there's the new one that had the TV show.
Oh yeah, well no, she was just Ms. Marvel.
Oh, she was Miss Marvel. Okay, you can trace the line through there. All right, next up.
House of Secrets.
Ooh, classic book. Look at that Neil Adams cover on that. Oh, coming at you through the TV. Issue 82 of House of Secrets from 1969. $12 in store, $8 if you claim it here. House of Secrets. There's no escape. Oh, if I had just had this 10 issues later, 9 issues later, first appearance of Swamp Thing. Yikes. Next up.
Alien Legion.
Boy, this book, this team, Alien Legion, crazy popular in the late 80s, early 90s. I never got into it, but I know that they sold a lot of books. This is Alien Legion, graphic novel, one-shot story. What Carl Potts is writing in? All right. So this is not the first appearance of Alien Legion.
No, this was after this is its own little story.
All right.
It came out in 87. The book came out in like 84, 85.
Okay. Alien Legion, lots of fans for this. $20 in store, $15 if you claim it here. Next up.
Last 3 books.
Last 3 books. Don't forget we have a second show. After we finish this show, we'll shut down for a few minutes, reset everything, and then Cindy will come and step in and we'll do the ratio variants and show you some more stuff. Grips. Oh my gosh, a very low print run, late mid 80s. Grips number 1 is a little bit easier to find, but the issue is it number 2 or 3 has the first appearance of Faust in it.
Yeah. This big, Tim Vigil's big.
Yeah, Tim Vigil. This is very early Tim Vigil stuff. $8 for this Grips number 1. Next up.
What's funny is I met Tim Vigil once, and I was expecting some heavy metal kid with long hair and leather jacket. No, he's the dad of someone who looks like that. It's funny. He's a nice guy too. And we got number 2, second book, second to last.
2. Another great Neil Adams cover on this. Justice League of America number 67 and an 80-page giant. Wow. Fine plus to VF minus. Oh, look at that. These books should be worth a whole lot more. They're really cool. This is the super struggles of Green Arrow, Atom, and Hawkman as they tried to join the Justice League. Nice. $30 in store, $24 if you claim it here. Justice League number 67, $24. Next up.
And our last book of the night.
Last book of the night. Oh, really cool Marvel team up. Really nice Fine Plus VF copy of this. Good classic cover. They used this image for a lot of advertising. I think they even made like some lunch boxes or maybe some thermoses out of this. I don't know. Who is that villain there? It's like super lame. Infinitus.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a problem right there. $12 though for this Marvel Team Up number 29, or $10 if you claim it there. We can look in that Captain America 180 and make sure it has the value stamp. We'll take a look at that. All right, Cindy, can you grab that Captain America 180 and flip through that?
Yeah.
See if it has the Marvel value stamp. I want to say it has Deathlock in it, but
Is it like Matlock?
yeah, it had Matlock except a time traveler. All right, there we go. Another show in the books. Thanks a lot, everybody, for coming by and seeing us. Don't forget, you can take a few minute break, get the legs stretched, and come back in for the ratio variants. We sell a lot of stuff cheap because we just don't want to store it anymore. Chris has been here with me. Kaylin's been here with me. Cindy's over there, and even Alex is over there helping out a little bit there. For Keith's Comics, I am Keith, and if I don't see you in 20 minutes or so, I'll see you next time. Avengers number 267 through 269 from 1986. Beautiful VF copies. It's a 3-part storyline featuring Kang and Immortus.
Some crazy cool Buscema and Palmer art.
Buscema and Palmer, yeah, this is not my favorite era of Buscema, but it's... Oh, is this Sal Buscema? Is that what it is?
John Buscema.
Is it really John?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't look like John Buscema to me. My favorite is the John Buscema is in the issues like 48 through 70 or something like that. There we go. All 3 issues of this VF copies, $40 in store, $30. All right, we'll.
Keys Comics.